Hello and welcome to the Uncalled For. I think we have a great show for you tonight, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be obviously talking about the Barbie movie and its implications, and I think some of the funny opinions that we've seen about it. And some of the,
You
the
mean the
fits that everyone's.
utterly ridiculous outrage?
Well, that too. That's where, yeah.
I came here for Oppenheimer. What's going on?
Oh no, you're going to be
I wanna
pink
see that too.
offended. I guarantee you'll be pink offended by the end of this show. Yes.
Oh,
I'm wearing pink especially.
Oh, they are pics. Pics, or we're going to have to put that in the sus file.
very sussy. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think, but it'll be good to talk about some of the things that about the movie and about the outrage over it and why it's just so silly to be so outraged over a movie. That was one of my biggest takeaways going through everything for the show, and it's funny how how much of this outrage is just misplaced. I honestly do. I think there are obviously it's so this is only my personal opinion, but I think there are far more serious things to worry about that's happening right now than
Oh yeah.
whether or not a movie was made or directed by a woman. I mean,
Yeah, it's just
That's
a whole bunch of little boys going wee wee wee.
Exactly. Only a little more out of tune.
exactly. Yeah, they're not quite so nicely
Yes,
auto-tuned
yes.
as that, but
Yeah, that was actually pleasant compared to what we've been hearing. Yeah.
exactly.
Wait, they let women direct movies now? What this
Yeah,
world is coming to?
My
I
God, and
know.
not just
Never
any
has a
movie.
woman directed.
Not just any movie, a movie about a doll that they might actually know something about, or a cultural icon. Let's just be clear what it is. Like, don't be offended. Although, it is a cultural icon. Yes, it is. It represents a lot. And it's more about the memories of that and the women that grew up with it than the fact that people are still playing with it now, because most people have the knockoffs. Let's be real. Like, come on. It's not even
Exactly.
like Barbie anymore. Now, there's so much to be said for it, but what they're trying to say about it is they actually miss a decent movie based on adult humor that actually points at society and some of the really great parallels in the parody of what is the difference between a matriarchy and a patriarchy. And it is actually done with some pretty good humor. I mean, it was, I don't know about you, Amy, but that was funny. And the people complaining about it miss all the jokes. They're missing all the jokes. Like, they're just like right over their heads. They're just like, and they're getting offended about it. To be offended that a woman is actually the director and wrote, actually the screenwriter and the director, so more control there, of a $1 billion successful movie. Let's just be real. It cost like 145 to 168 million, and it's raked in over 1.6 billion already. Okay. And actually, the only thing he has to say about it is, I can't believe it's a woman. You see, like a woman, they let a woman do the Barbie movie. Like, why not? Like, you idiot, why not? Like, who better? Like, and what does that have to do with it? Oh,
I must admit, I'm kind of
exactly it.
astonished. So I'm kind of astonished that it's done as well as it. I mean, you say it's a great. I don't think it's that good a movie.
No, it's funny if you don't make it more. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's. I don't think they meant to make a huge statement. I think it was funny. I think they were taking some jabs, and I think it was great.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, I saw when I watched it, I was thinking, well, this is a movie about a character that's having a kind of like an existential crisis of identity.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I kind of like felt the movie did the same thing. It didn't seem to know exactly what it wanted to be. It was all kind of all over the place.
I would agree with that, because I don't think they wanted to make a solid statement in either way, which would give the movie that feel, right? Definitely.
There were a few moments in it where you think, yeah, they're trying to make a statement, but they're not. It's a little dusting of a statement, not heavy-handed. There were some quite intense scenes.
And to get a lot of it, you have to know a lot about Barbie. So unfortunately, they weren't playing to your audience. at all.
No, Star Wars figures and Action Man.
No. Although there was a great one in there. You have to see they did kind of put a few in there for you. Like, yes, there were. There was Matrix references in there. There were movie references everywhere. For the Barbie connoisseurs and lovers, there was all like the disconnected, the Barbies that got disconnected, like the Ken doll, like cool Ken with the earring and the pleather pants, Amy, like lasted like 6 months, like that. Whoop. If you go to like weird Barbie's house, like all the Barbies that aren't like accepted are there, you know. And there were a couple of Ken version dolls there. That,
Sugar Daddy Ken was a bit weird.
Yeah, Sugar Daddy, right? But these actually existed, and they did have permission from Mattel to mention them. They were part of the marketing strategy that bombed. I mean, you know, Barbie, it's just an icon. It is, and it's more about what they represent now. And in this movie, they, like the Matrix, in the way they did those shoes at weird Barbies. Come on, you didn't like that, Dunk? Like, you could have a Birkenstock or a nice shiny pink pump. Like, you just like reality.
It was the red pill, blue pill moment, wasn't it? With the shoes.
It was actually, and it was like you could take the Birkenstock and you could just go face reality. Whereas if you actually try to do anything, they're going to call you a dyke. And,
and it was just like, it's a symbol. you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Exactly.
It's a symbol of a choice.
You're not allowed to be both. You have to do one or the other. Like, but
you're not allowed to do the other. You got to do the one I've chosen for you. You got to do this
exactly.
one.
Yes, exactly. So you could see the humor there. Like that was like a message on what it is like if you're a woman. Like, you do have the choice, but they're going to judge you for the choice no matter which one you make, and you're not allowed to, like, you have to stay in one lane or the other. Like, you couldn't possibly be both. Like normal, like everybody,
like everyday people are.
Like you couldn't possibly. But no, but you see what I mean by making statements and just it being like hilariously funny as they did it. I have to give him credit. I thought it was well written, actually. I think Ben Shapiro's problem with the movie is that he's a failed screenwriter and he's just jealous AF.
I think so. I think so.
And he doesn't know humor. He cannot recognize the jokes because, you know, hey. Because I don't think that movie actually slammed the patriarchy. It actually had a really great backstory, and I'm so curious to see what you guys think about it in the chat, and Dick and Dunk, about the struggle that Ken had when he went from fake Barbie world, where he was just an accessory, where Ken was just an accessory, and then he had to go over to the real world where it's a patriarchy, and he didn't know what to do. He had no clue because, let's be real. He's a doll. He's not supposed to know what to do, right? He's never been exposed to any of this. Okay. And then Ben gets upset because the first thing that happens to Barbie is she gets catcalled and smacked on the ass. Like, that doesn't happen every day. Sorry, Ben. Like, Ben was like, that never happens. I'm like, Ben, you're not a woman. You wouldn't know. Nobody's catcalling you, dude. Look at those eyebrows. Nobody would catcall you. and I don't know about your butt, but I believe you don't get smacked on a regular basis. But that's just my personal.
There is one thing. This is partly a joke, but it's also partly true. There should have been a spot in the movie, even if just barely hinted at, where Ken was caught kind of playing with himself because, well, you got gear and it works now, dude. It must have come up. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding? Ben Shapiro would have lost his mind because did you hear how long he ranted about the beach off joke?
Oh, yeah.
Amy, just because the guys like guys don't talk about that all the time, and they don't even use the word beach. Like, they're pretty direct. Like, he was so offended that they would have said that, and then Barbie breaks it up and goes, "Listen, nobody's getting beached off." Like, so what? You know, there was a conversation she stopped, like, from going on. It was funny. It was. I have brothers. That stuff happens all the time. Like, come on. Like, why is he so offended about that? Like,
exactly. It's just sheer craziness. Some of the things that he was saying about it and how angry he was about the whole thing.
Oh, he's angry.
He has so many people.
Yes.
So is it just him who's angry?
There's quite a few people out there, but it's mostly let's just say it's been picked up by the what Amy and I would call the red pill. It's been picked up by them as a perfect classic, like how we can't handle the world the way it is. Women can't handle the world the way it is. You see, this Barbie movie will show you that. It's like,
Wow.
yeah. And I'm like, really? This Barbie movie shows us that women are able to look at the situation with a sense of humor and do a damn good job of laying it out there, and also taking responsibility to what parts of it are our responsibility also, because it did a good job in there.
It wasn't a very good sort of like message on democracy, though, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was like more like, especially, it was more like politics now, right, Dunk? The way they had to like hoodwink everybody and sabotage them to get them to do what they want and make a whole like spy plan and stuff. Like, it was
exactly to win the right to keep their constitution and not have it changed by the Kens. They had to cheat.
Exactly. I saw that as a great commentary on the look over here and not over here while I distract you to what's really going on bullshit that actually is happening now a lot. It was a good commentary on propaganda and how the media is using it, right? Didn't you think, Aimée?
Exactly. I think so. Yeah. I think so too. I thought it was a fairly good allegory for that, and I agree with that. I'm just going to grab this really quick. Welcome back to Shill Apprentice, Crazy Cat 1. Don't worry, mine hiccups and fluffs just like that every once in a while too, and it just stops working. So no worries there. So thank you so much and welcome back. Thank you for the support.
Well, Crazy Cat 1 says it's a kids movie. What's the adults expecting? Is it a kids movie though?
No,
I don't think it is.
It's not. It's kind of like the kind of kids humor that South Park is, or that Family Guy. Would you call that a kids cartoon? Nope.
Yeah, I'd say it's for adults who have owned Barbies or no sisters and had them all just play with toys.
Yeah, it's a PG-13. It's a fun. They are trying to make a comment, but I don't think they're going as deep in it as Ben Shapiro and the writer trying to make it in incels.
Well, that's what I think too. I think too big of a deal has been made out of it. By the people who are critiquing it in this way and saying, and some of them have even gone as far as to say that, that what's going on here is they're trying to brainwash our kids now into thinking that this is the, like saying all the feminists are trying to brainwash their kids with these movies and Barbies and everything.
I don't think so. Barbie's been around a long time. She comes from
around since the 60s or 50s, something like that. Yeah, at least the 60s. So come on here,
that's in like 50s, like, because I remember like what those ones, the collector Barbies look like, and they're very, very old fashioned. But Barbie,
very late 50s. Yeah.
If you watch Barbie's timeline, you can see the progression of society of how it went and what was acceptable for women to be doing. Just look at how we started adding like all the different outfits she could be, but everybody knows you don't just like put on a lab coat and you become a doctor. Like, you don't just change your clothes and like everything. And it did a good job of making fun of that aspect of it. Like, the reason I give them great respect is they not only they making a statement about the patriarchy or how difficult things can be, but they also were taking great liberties in making fun of themselves. And when you can do that, like, you win my vote. Well, they were also pointing out the ridiculous, like, we're going to do a Barbie movie, which means Barbie doesn't walk anywhere or do anything. She just blinks or just flies off the top of her building and she's in the car, just like if you're playing with Barbie. Like,
right. Pick her up and carry her off. Yes.
It's all of the unrealistic stuff, because they were trying to say, well, Barbie's world is unrealistic. It is. Barbie's world is the doll world. It's the one we all played in. Barbie's anything and anything we put our minds to that you could make her be.
She was in our imagination. She's an imaginary world. I mean, that's what she is.
Feet are permanently on her tippy toes, so she could wear a high heel shoes doing anything, people. Like, she could wear those high heel shoes. Okay.
I envy her because I fall over all the time.
Exactly. and for them to make that the point, that's when Barbie realizes things change when her feet are flat on the ground. Now, if that didn't say something, Aimée? Like, exactly. now her whole world is over. Because like something's going on. Like, what's wrong? I'm not happy here in Dream World anymore. My feet are flat.
The start of a rock song.
Exactly.
It was actually quite clever. Like, that's how she knows that things are changing. And she has to make choice, because in Barbie world, nobody dies, nobody gets sick. Okay,
No.
like
Well, look at Barbie herself. She doesn't even age, for crying out loud. The woman is 64 years old. She came out March
exactly.
9th of 1959. Is
Yep,
when she came
Plastic
out.
surgery.
1959. Exactly. Well, plastic everything, right? Don't get
Yeah.
I remember reading articles back when I was a teenager about how realistically, if Barbie was a human, she wouldn't be able to stand up. And it's
Yeah.
true. Like, it's just
It's
that
true.
unrealistic, people. Okay. And I don't know. It is not just the Barbie, it's all the other characters, the Midge, the Ken, everything.
Mhm.
Um I don't know. I just can't believe that they're taking it so serious. I think it's cute. I think it is what it is. I admire a movie that comes out and just is what it is. Like,
Absolutely.
that's why I loved Cocaine Bear. Like, they didn't take themselves seriously. That movie was freaking awful and funny AF, like so good. I watched it
Exactly.
3 times.
Exactly.
It was enjoyable. That's all it needs to be.
Mhm.
And that's why I recommend this. Don't look for like some major statement or some like, knockdown epiphany at the end of it. It is a fun ride, period. You can get the humor. It relates to society now. It tells both sides of the story in a unique way. I kind of feel for the Ken character, you know, because he goes through some changes, Amy, doesn't he? I mean, poor,
He does.
you know.
He does. Poor Ken. He goes through a lot. Well, they picked it, and they picked him very well. I think the actor that they chose for him was
Yeah. And
perfect.
they even got a lot to say about that. Like, Ryan Gosling now has to worry because people are saying it's one of the best acting jobs he's done in his career, just to be able to play like the doll and then going through the changes and then going back again in that kind of way, as limited as it was. In like, he's got to be offended about it because like they don't want him to be associated with the Barbie movie.
Well, he's like Pinocchio
Exactly.
is turned into a real boy because in Blade Runner, he was really, really wooden. And so now he gets to do a bit more acting in the Barbie. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Just a bit more though. I mean, it is Barbie.
Yeah.
yeah,
But they,
great. It was his abs were acting like mad.
yeah.
Ex-
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess
But
depending on what world he was in too, but it was great. Like it was just great the way they put on that coat and everything. That's another Barbie that didn't make it. There is a Barbie like out there, a Ken doll with that coat shit coat on. It didn't make it very well. Anyway, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I don't have anything bad to say about it except for the reviews that are being done. Although some of them are pretty smart.
They
I don't.
were.
Yeah. It's just that they're so serious. You think I would have more to say about the message and stuff like that, but actually, I'm a bit offended at some people trying to make more of the message than is
Than
actually
what it
there.
really was.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly it. It was just, to me, it's sort of like a comedy routine a lot of the times, how it's a take on, it's almost like a snapshot of society, but they parody it. So it's kind of, that's what it seems like to me. It's just a lighthearted snapshot of what society is like. And I don't see the big deal in it. I mean, a lot of people do, but of course I have other things to worry about than, oh my God, there's a movie out that's just, oh my God. I didn't put my pearls on today to clutch. So
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, I just don't get it. Like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be like that. Like for
Exactly.
I think in Ben Shapiro's review, he actually said, of course, when they go over to patriarchy, everything's just bad, bad, bad. And it's no, they didn't. Like they were just making like, jokes about stuff like that, stuff that actually did occur. And if you can't acknowledge those and see the humor in it, or at least acknowledge that they exist, like that kind of says a lot more about him in his outlook, like his unwillingness to accept like the whole picture instead of just his narrow view. Because like take for example, like he was upset that they didn't have the Mattel leader be a woman because in the Mattel CEO is of course a woman.
Yeah.
He's all upset. Like Ben Shapiro's like, but it's not a woman. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's because it was over in the patriarchy, dude. Like if it was in Barbie, it would have been all women, right?
Yeah,
like,
but in that scene where they talks about that, Will Ferrell's talking about it. He says, "Well, Well, this one, Mattel CEO was a woman, and there was another one year. Couldn't remember. And then he just randomly says, and some of my friends are Jewish.
And yes, just like that. And there's the other line here, and he goes, "That's okay." Like when they said like, "Well, I'm looking for a woman," he goes, "Well, well, we just do all our boy stuff quiet now." Like, in the background, like, but we're all cool with women, but we just do all that boy stuff like quiet. So I'm like, okay, the jokes were there, and Ben just didn't get any of them. Like it was just like very, very close-minded. I mean, it was kind of good because nobody can deny that during the 50s, 60s, and even into the 70s and 80s, that business wasn't like that. Because it was like a madman joke. Who could exist? Who could say that doesn't exist? Of course it did. You didn't grow up here in America and think that that's not like how it is. Okay, or was. I should say was. I'm not going to say that that's how it is now.
Well, they had the little old lady, the ghost lady, who was the creator of Barbie at the end, and she was going on about I created Barbie, I was the boss, and well, until the RRS got involved, but that's another movie.
That's a whole other movie. Yeah. But at least like some of the humor is like so evident. I think it was well done that way. Like I think so. I think it's going to be a cult classic, though. I really do. The more they complain about it, the more they're boosting it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And and that's too funny because what they're doing is just the opposite of what they hope to do, which I think is a riot.
It truly is, because in one way they're not really helping themselves, because isn't like in some way, and I won't say completely, Amy, but would you agree that the Barbie world, the doll world and everything there, isn't that kind of what they're trying to push us back to anyway? Like just the unrealisticness of it, and just Barbie wakes up the same every day, happy to wear her pink clothes and do whatever and never has to think about a thing. And it's just completely taken care of. Although in Barbie world, she owns everything. Like everything's hers, right? Like
true. Everything belongs to.
Right. Yeah. So what is so offensive about that to Ben Shapiro that I guess he's never going to let his children play with Barbies? But you could get rid of Barbie, but you can't get rid of that kind of play. They're just going to get another knockoff doll and do the same thing. I don't know how he's going to control that, but
you can't.
Yeah,
you can't. So that's all you can. It's just craziness. We have that article from WBUR. Do you mind if we read that and then kind of go over what?
Sure. Is that the one from the actual director and writer of the screenplay? Yeah.
Yes.
This was forgotten about. I don't have access to any of that, or I don't.
It's in Gilded. It's in the links room.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, that's what I had said earlier today, that it was in there. So I
just sent stuff to Amy because I figured she would have access to somewhere you were, because who knows where you. I don't know.
Yeah, I was scared of Discord until I get my account back and stuff. That's why we're using this other thing right now, just to have something, right? Yeah.
I'll put it in the group.
I got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the WBUR.org link. Okay, so let me get back to where it was here. There we go. All right. So I think this is going to be a good explainer too of everything in it. So I think this is very good. It's Barbie director Greta Gerwig explains how the movie deconstructs a toy icon, and she is truly an icon. I mean, millions of girls had her. Well, I had lots of Barbies when I was growing up, right alongside my Tonka trucks
exactly.
and my ambulance from Emergency 51. My parents searched everywhere for that stupid
I
thing.
loved that. You had that?
Yes, I did. God. I did. I had John and Roy too, so they all drove the ambulance. They all took turns. Barbie and John and Roy all took turns driving the ambulance. And Barbie drove my Tonka trucks. She drove everything because, well, I thought that's what we could do. And I told my father that too. I was going to work with him in the garage, and I was going to be driving all the trucks and stuff like that too, and having a grand old time. And he just looked at me and said, okay. So what else could he say?
Exactly.
So here we go. Yeah, my family was very progressive for its time, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we go. Here's the article. It says Greta Gerwig's Barbie takes on the iconic doll and all her issues with a bit of seriousness and a whole lot of camp. It might seem like a departure for Gerwig. The director and co-writer's previous films reveal the harsh realities of being a woman in the modern world. Lady Bird and Little Women question social conventions and institutions. And yet, with Barbie, actor Margot Robbie asked Gerwig to work on a film about a wildly successful series of dolls that are owned by the corporate giant Mattel. Let me get that thing out of the way. There's a pop up there. But Gerwig says Barbie is chock full of contradictions, which she says drew her to the project. I'm interested in how life is complicated and messy, and that there is nothing that's either good or bad, but it's both, Gerwig says. It can be all these things at once, and I think that felt like a rich place to start from. Just like the toy, Barbie is always on her toes in the film's imaginary Barbie land. There, all the money, power, and dream houses belong to women. But when Barbie finds her signature high-heeled feet flattened and can't escape morbid thoughts, she heads to the real world to find out what's going on. Margot Robbie, who plays Barbie, has said the film is for everyone, whether it's little girls who play with dolls or the middle-aged dads laughing at references to 2001 Space Odyssey, the Indigo Girls, and Robert Palmer. And Gerwig wants viewers to experience laughter and joy, but also feel emotional and challenged. I want the movie to make people feel somewhat relieved of the tightrope. We ask ourselves, not just as women, men too, that we walk this impossible tightrope of being perfect, Gerwig says. Barbie has always been a symbol of this thing that you could never reach because she physically couldn't stand up if she were a human being. So I wanted it to almost invert that formula and find a way that it gave you permission to just be yourself and know that that's enough. Barbie's owner, Mattel, expressed worries and feedback throughout the process of making the movie, particularly about how the film addresses the criticisms the brand faces. But ultimately, Gerwig says, they supported her decisions. And the film isn't just about Barbie's journey. Mattel introduced Ken as Barbie's boyfriend in 1961, 2 years after Barbie hit the scene. Ken is just an afterthought to folks in the movie's real world, especially for Will Ferrell, Mattel's fictional CEO. But Barbie's male counterpart doesn't have any other purpose, which creates a psychologically interesting story for Ken, Gerwig says. Two of the Kens, Ryan Gosling and Simu Liu, who consider their predicament in an incredible dream ballet sequence. And Gerwig says the film's song and dance numbers incorporate elements of the musical soundstage of the 1950s, including Vicente Minnelli's An American in Paris and Gigi. To give the scene a heightened surrealness, the Dream Ballet set was inspired by Stanley Donen's Singing in the Rain. Mm-hmm. But while Barbie fills the senses with musical numbers and a plethora of bubblegum pink, Gerwig says the film also needed a serious moment. That comes when star America Ferrera gives an impassioned speech about the expectations placed on women's appearances, careers, and responsibilities at home. Barbie as an idea, as a brand, had this mission statement of inspiring girls to be whatever they wanted to be as adult women, Gerwig says. And then I think it's very important to have an adult woman talk about all of the kind of impossible contradictions. A 3-guild member of the Directors, Writers, and Actors Guilds, Gerwig is promoting Barbie while its stars are on strike. I am in full support of everything that's being asked for, and I think that it's important for survival moving forward, Gerwig says. I love the film industry, so this is incredibly important. While the whole country drenched in pink for Barbie, Gerwig says she's pinching herself as the film sparks a moment uncharted by her previous projects. I've had many people call me who have been in the business for longer, she says, and they say, kid, enjoy it. It's never going to happen again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that is how it is in the industry. I mean, well, I'm glad that they are making it successful. But you could see right there from the writer and director herself, yes, it makes points. But is it being heavy-handed about it? No, it's actually more about all of us. And that strive for, it's a larger message that the striving for perfection, the unrealistic ideas that Barbie world puts in anyone's head, including a young girl, right, Amy? Would you say that
Exactly.
Barbie's world actually does not prepare us for the real world very well at
No,
all?
it doesn't. It
It
doesn't at
doesn't.
all.
It's a
It
play fantasy, and it's not
Mhm.
realistic, and it's not meant to be the symbolism of how things are.
No, it's an imaginary world. It's how we would want them to be. And like when I was growing up and I was playing and Barbie was doing everything along with with John and Roy.
In the
You
ambulance.
know, but yes, exactly. But she could and she was accepted and obviously because I was just a kid, so everybody was just okay, yeah, here you go and here you pull this stretcher, you know, and I was doing the whole thing.
Mhm.
It was that's how I saw things, and sometimes I still do to this day because I'm a little naive. But
And
but
admittedly,
yes,
they're
it
playing to
was.
us as the audience, those that
Yes, they
have
are
Barbies, and we've grown out of them, and we are
exactly.
women now dealing in the world the way it is. And
And the way it
although
is vastly different than what we imagined when
exactly,
we were little,
but the
and
big
we
thing,
realize that.
yeah, the big thing about Barbie is you just want that opportunity that if you did want to participate or go or do that, thing, that
Hmm.
it's possible, that the door's not shut to you. I mean, what's so
Exactly.
wrong with that? I mean, that's all I ever was pushing for as far as equality is the same opportunity. I don't want to hand
Exactly.
out. I don't want to be known as the best firefighter on the planet if I can't do the work,
Mm.
if I can't
Or
do
the
the same
best truck
job,
driver,
or
or
the
when I
best
was
truck driver. You don't have to shoot me
wanted
into
to be a lot of things.
space to be number one if I don't qualify. I'm not looking to get a pat on the back from Mince or anybody else just because I survived. That's all
Hmm.
bullshit. That's all fear mongering and talking. Like, all I want is
Exactly.
the opportunity that if I have a goal, the same as anybody else, to be able to pursue it. Because I
Exactly.
recognize the differences between men and women. Well,
Hmm.
just because I want to have a career doesn't mean I don't always also want a family, or I don't
Right.
understand my what we would call, and people are going to come at me, but women do have natural. Some women do feel a strong natural instinct to have a family and care for people and to do something like that for the world as a contribution, raise an adult.
Hmm.
Okay, bring another being into the world and raise them, and they take that seriously, and they should.
Exactly.
Okay, that is something that we can do and should, and we should have the opportunity to do it or not if we choose.
We should have the choice, and that's what I've always thought too, what feminism should be. It's about, yes, I might want to, I have this overwhelming urge to care for people. I want to, take
Mhm,
care of people. I want to take care of my son. I want to, and I want to do all of those traditional things like that.
mhm,
But on the other hand, I want others to have the choice to and not be criticized for that choice
exactly.
if they decide to have a career. There's
Really.
nothing wrong with that either. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with any of the things that
Hmm.
we just talked about. And if you want to try to mix both,
Do it.
be my
Right.
guest. And I
Mhm.
hope that you get the best support possible for yourself while
Right.
you do it because it is hard. And I tried that as well.
It
And
is same thing for men, because like
mhm,
during the same
yes,
time that our age, from our generation, we were being pushed Barbie, they were being pushed GI Joe because the war was going on, and they were like, if they wanted anything else to play with besides war stuff in getting aggressive, they were looked down on. Like, that's what the big push was. Like, so men feel the same pressures to be something without choice. They just have more opportunity just based on the way things are. And I'm not saying that as a slam against men. It's not. It's actually in total support of, yes, it's men that helped create this system. Women were right there too, but it's women allowing it to go forward that way without saying something from the start. And then, it being that way, that when we started noticing that we had no choices, that maybe more could have been done, said in a reasonable kind of way to help this divide not be as big. So everybody participated in it. Everybody
mhm,
did. But to actually say that men don't have these same kind of pressures, yes, they do. I won't say they're the
yes, they
same.
do.
I will stand here and say you're not going to tell me that there's not more doors closed to women than there are to men. There are. There actually are.
Mhm.
But men do feel other pressures, in some of them just as much, as far as mental health and stress and pressure to be a certain way, aka perfect in
Mhm.
societal guides.
And
That
it's getting harder and harder for them now too, and I can see
exactly.
that.
Yeah, and so it's tough on everybody, and I think that's kind of one part of the message that Barbie does. Even though it's a pink plastic make believe world, it does make valid points in regards to why that stands out in how we deal with the inability to be perfect, the inability for others to accept imperfection, and just get along in humanity the way we should. Like, it takes a yin and a yang, and until they get that down, I don't know when this struggle is going to be done. I don't.
That's it.
That's
exactly it.
There was a little talk in the chat box there. People saying, Biker Barbie would be a really good one.
Did they have one?
Yeah,
it does. Yes,
yeah.
I was going to say, Dick, you could have fun with Google, like just picking up all the Barbies, like just so. Although I did kind of based on like how good Ryan looked in that coat, I did search for Pimp Barbie and I couldn't find Pimp Ken. But he did look good. He did look good in that coat. I have to admit,
I've got to say, Margot Robbie has also rekindled my admiration for Barbie too.
That didn't hurt, did it?
Yeah, it did.
No, she's very pretty, and she's a good actress too. I like her a lot.
And she had a tough job going from doll to real, because she gets put the doll, and then she has to be kind of uneducated and naive when she gets thrown in the other world. And that's another thing Ben Shapiro kept saying, oh, look at them slamming on women, making Barbie stupid when she gets into the real world. She wasn't stupid. She had no exposure to it. She was naive, but she tried to find stuff out. She wasn't being stupid. Nobody was calling her stupid. Like, I was like,
no,
Ben.
She just didn't know. It's like throwing someone in an entirely different culture. He's really not that bright. Some of the things he says, some criticisms are very few are okay, but then most of the time he just is just more of an outrage. Let's get everybody worked up and riled up. He's like a Matt Walsh to me.
The thing is, 50% of movies are based around someone being in an environment they've not used to.
Exactly.
That's the whole story point half the time.
Exactly. And the same thing happened to Ken. Ken didn't know what was going on in the patriarchy. He was like totally taken aback. He didn't because in Barbie world, he has to do nothing. He's in control of nothing. He has to do nothing. He just exists as Barbie's
furniture.
Yes, he's furniture. Perfect, Dick. That's a perfect explanation of it. Like an accessory, just like he might as well have been Barbie's purse. But
her Birkin bag.
And now he's there being judged as a whole individual, and he has no idea what to do. And he's expected to do so much. Like, the pressure is immediately there. This is the patriarchy. What are you doing, man? Like, where's your control? What are you doing? How are you doing? That was pretty good the way they put that. But about that review, though, Amy, like when I got done watching Ben Shapiro's review, I was like, "That's perfect, Ben. How to show your ass without pulling your pants down." That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
He opened his mouth.
Like, damn, like how to show how you really feel about everything and try to use a movie to do it. That apparently you didn't even watch the whole thing. Like, I don't think you watched a different movie, to tell you the truth.
I don't think he watched any at all.
But I'm seriously like,
Maybe he watched Oppenheimer.
I think he did. I think he had Barbie on, and he saw the pink, and then he woke up to Oppenheimer, and he just didn't get it. He just didn't get it. Yeah.
No, he saw pink, and then he saw red. That was it. He was done.
I've never seen pink offend so many people in my whole life. Like, this is I'm just actually amused by it. A lot of people were in my DMs like shocked that I'm so amused by it. They're like, I really thought you'd go off. I figured there'd be soapbox bear everywhere about this. I said, are you kidding? You have to look at it for what it really is. It's brilliant. I hope it becomes a cultural icon. I really do. I hope they keep talking about it for a long, long time. There's a lot there.
It makes them angry for a long time, because some of it's just absolute sheer stupidity. For one thing, it's a movie, for crying out loud. It's not like it's a serious documentary on what society is like right now. It was a movie, and it actually had some positive messages, like how how we're we always strive for perfection, and nobody can ever reach that, and that's what it's about, and it's a positive message about that as well. You don't have to be perfect to be successful, and And if that's such a bad message, well then I don't know what to tell you.
Let them have it. Like
You just wait for the sequel.
Oh yeah. Oh, can you imagine? Because if now the line is Ben Shapiro is extremely offended by Barbie. I mean, that line right there just cracks me up. Barbie, a doll, a little pink icon, is offending Ben Shapiro. Yes.
And I find that funny. I really do.
I'm just like, that just tells me everything. He's so secure, huh, Amy? He's just so secure in his convictions that a freaking doll just knocked him off his platform.
Maybe we should put him back in his box.
I think so. I think so. Maybe it's the lack of box that's got him
all the Ben doll back in there. Yeah.
The little ties around the wrists.
Yes, well, that's another one. Can we look for cuffed Barbie, Dick? Is that one exists? I don't know.
In my special collection.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder, does policewoman Barbie come with handcuffs? Like, let's really get Ben Shapiro something to talk about, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
just swinging.
That'll get him all.
Yeah. Her handcuffs are just swinging wistfully with her little ring finger.
Exactly.
How around.
How dare she make police work? Like, yep, look at that. I knew you could, Dick. Thank you. Like, way to go.
Dear God, right? Dear God.
Yes, dear God. Okay, Ben, here's your next video right there. Take a screenshot.
Ben's too busy trying to control his erection in public right now, to be honest.
I do. The way he burned those Barbies, I was wondering. And he did mention little girls an awful lot, Dig. It really had me concerned. It is a PG-13 movie, and everybody that complains about the child's influence by it keeps mentioning 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. That should not be in the movie theater without an adult anyway. So if you brought them there, it's on you, boo-boo. You should have watched it first. Like, this is stupid.
That's exactly it. And
it is labeled appropriately. Yeah. It's labeled appropriately. They do not curse. There's no, like, they're not showing body parts. The Barbie and Ken are not getting it on in the beach. They don't even have genitalia, people. Like, they don't get it on. Okay. Like, it's
look, we got
you do
ball
see
gag Barbie here. Come on.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It would have been quite funny in the movie.
Sorry to everyone in the chat.
Don't apologize. Just think Ben Shapiro should be sending you a thank you right now, Dick. You just made his next 3 videos.
Yeah.
Him and Matt Walsh. No, he's going to get the whole team. The Wire. They're like in a conference room right now watching the Shills going, hey, that's what we got to talk about. They're out there promoting ball gags. Like, what's wrong with those people?
Yeah. Good God.
Jesus. Oh,
this one here is I've listened to too much Madonna Barbie.
Exactly.
Oh my God. The one with her leg in the air.
This one's Miley Cyrus Barbie.
There's a Barbie for everything. There's like anything and everything. Like and you know, it's not only iconic, but it's a running common joke about everything. Like, you can make Barbie jokes about anything, just about. So I don't see it going anywhere. I think Ben better get used to it.
Yeah.
Now that he's made a big deal about it, I could just imagine him being tortured with Barbie now for the rest of his life.
All of his not fans. We should start sending him Barbies as fan mail. Why not?
Let's hope he doesn't find out there's a life-size Barbie available. Ooh.
One that'll fold in half because she can't stand.
But the way he was talking, I think he'd go for Skipper anyway. She's younger. Like, I don't know. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I'm not taking it back. He was obsessed. He was obsessed. It just really annoyed me how much he kept bringing up the younger children in the movies. Yeah,
exactly. I love that Nacho Libre Ken.
Oh, God.
Oh my good God.
Yeah. Oh my God! Now that's going a little bit. Now we're getting like we're going to get pulled down.
Yeah, that's too much.
Can we stop? Like, draw the line at the explicit acts that Barbie might do in the privacy of her own home.
It wasn't my idea to start this, and you know me. You knew it was coming. Okay, I'm done.
I know. Get off Google, Dick. Get off Google. Like, that's it. Sorry. It's like crazy.
I should know better. I should know better.
No, I should know. I googled live on stream once. It went bad. It went really bad. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my god.
And I was surprised YouTube didn't take that one down. I shouldn't say that because
Wow.
now they'll probably go look for it, but still, it's pretty bad.
Exactly.
It just had something to do with Mitch McConnell and turtles and naughty bits. Like it was bad. It was really bad.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh, good night, Triggered Limey. Good night.
Going back, it's good to see you too, Limey.
50 Shades of Barbie.
Yeah.
Hobby
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. There's a whole website for that one, I think, Dick. Like that's like
Must be, yeah.
Exactly.
That's another
Oh my
thing
God.
that culturally they came out against so much. Like everybody was so offended about that book too.
Oh.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Did we finish the article or did we cut you off? I'm sorry. Like we probably went off on a tangent. Like
no, we finished it and then went off on the tangent. So it was all good. It did cut off. It was one of those weird articles that just they didn't close it. They just kind of just ended it.
yeah, exactly.
But it was good. It was.
See,
So, yeah.
this is not the first film that's ever come out though where people have lost their shit over,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
then
no.
years down the line, people go, "What the fuck are you moaning about? You
Exactly.
stupid assholes!"
Yeah.
You know, like
Well,
Life of
that's
Brian
exactly
is one of the famous ones. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that was
I
another
actually think the media response to it and like what's going on is actually a real indicator of what's going on in at least our country right now. Wouldn't you say, Amy? It's really
would say
kind
so,
of
yes.
pointing it out. Like this movie has offended so much just because it's like
well,
Barbie.
people can't wait to be offended.
True.
They're
This is true.
looking for it.
Well, that's it, and it's both sides. It's not just
Yeah, it's whatever
the
side.
left
I'll be
that's
offended.
supposedly
Yeah.
offended. Yeah, it's the right that gets offended too, and it's both. I mean, I think it's human nature. I'm not really sure, but
And I'm
there's
glad
always somebody offended over something. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's just.
and I'm glad they're
it's-
offended. You know, good.
Mhm.
Take some offense for a change. None of this
Yeah.
whitewashing everything.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm just reading records like rap to it in the chat like this too much. But also Rocket Couch has a good suggestion for a terrible ukulele apology video, Barbie. I would love to see that one. Rocket Couch
Oh
actually.
my god!
If you all know about the Colleen Ballinger, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
my
we
god,
saw
worst
that.
apology ever. Yeah, that would make a great Barbie. Like
I got an idea. If
That would-
Barbie was to visit the Muppets, would they make a Muppet Barbie out of her and then have a whole new line of Muppet Barbies?
Hmm.
Hmm.
That'd be interesting because you could call her Flapping Head Barbie. You could put your
True, but if they try
She's
to do it like
Canadian.
if they try to do it Barbie-esque, how are they gonna, you know how the Muppets are with your hand there, and then they put those big old breasts on the Muppet? Like that's gonna look obscene, Dick. I don't know why.
yeah.
It may be the reason it's not in production right now because the breast kept hitting the top of the counter when you're trying to do the Muppet scene. Like it just looks weird. Yeah.
They take Miss Piggy and wrap a string around her waist and just tie it as tight around the guy's arm as they can.
Well, now you're on to something because isn't Miss Piggy the Barbie of Muppet World? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, tell me I'm
I
wrong.
would think
Like,
so.
right?
I would
I
think
think-
so. Yes, because she
Yeah.
had the hair and the outfits and
So there you go.
the
Barbie has
kind of
already
blood.
influenced the Muppets, Dick. She's already
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
Barbie's everywhere. You could look at all of these genres and find Barbie.
True
in all
that.
of it. Yeah.
you can find her influence everywhere, you know, and it's kind of
Mhm.
And DK's
Oh, yeah.
sock drawer. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Sleet. Miss Piggy is, but she's not one of the ones that has to use a counter. Like she's a full body piggy. Like you know what I mean? Like the full, like just like Kermit, he could sit on top. Like you could see like most of her body sometimes.
That
you
little
know?
frog must
Yeah.
be hung like a horse.
'Cause, like, well, that pig does love him. Yeah, she does.
Or at least a pig.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. But aren't frogs like frog? Like no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He must have other talents, actually. Have you seen that frog? There's like nothing there. It's like a Ken doll.
Seen that? Seen
Yeah.
that
There's nothing
tongue?
there.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's hidden. It's hidden.
He's got-
There's nothing
It's an
there.
accessory.
Frog is a
He just
talent.
puts it on when needed.
Yeah.
He's got a tongue that's 10 inches long and he can breathe through his ears.
Well, on a more serious note, when you look at like Ben Shapiro's actual reaction to it, he did pick on the agenda. Really, the things that offended him about the movie were all agenda oriented on their side. He did not like the beach it jokes that the guys were all making, and he actually was offended that Ken got along with trans Ken. Like he
Wow.
shouldn't be. Like he shouldn't think he's cool. And I'm like, why? Like that says a lot about you, Ben.
Oh shit.
Not-
Eh?
It don't say anything about, Ken or Ken. They were all called Ken or Ken or Ken, just like they were all called Barbie and Barbie. That drove me crazy. What do you guys think? That's the part that annoyed me about the movie.
Just
I never
hearing the
knew.
name so many times.
Like, hi, Barbie,
Exactly.
Barbie, or, oh, yeah, Ken. Like, Ken doesn't know which Ken you're talking to. Neither does Barbie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know.
it's like the whole mind is like they're all the Borg. Like there's Barbie Borg and Ken Borg, and like they're all one mind. That's it.
Assimilate.
Yes, that's it. Well, wasn't that the big message of the movie? If you want the message of the movie, that's the one.
Yeah, but there was also Alan.
Alan, the dorky friend on the beach. Yes, yes. I'm glad they put that in there though. There's like Alan. That's Ken's friend. Which Ken? I don't know.
Yeah. All the Kens.
Which Ken. All the Kens.
Well,
are friends.
none of them liked him.
None of them. No, it's just like
Yeah, he was a real outsider. He was like, if you consider Ken as like the accessory to Barbie, Alan was just like the accessory to everybody, and no one seemed to like him.
Oh, so that showed you like that Barbie's a bully. They really are into cliques and stuff like that. If your name's not Barbie, we don't talk to you. If your name's not Ken, we don't know you. Like
Ken is a douche.
Alan who? Alan who?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh my
Duncan,
God.
I agree. He was kind of weird. Well,
Kind of a yes guy or something, It's got
what do you guys think about the fact that Ben Shapiro was so upset that Ken didn't end up with Barbie at the end?
He was.
He was totally offended. He actually said, get this, in his review, I hate to tell you to go watch it, but you're going to have to. Don't believe what I say. He actually was offended. He said, well, Ken just loved her. Barbie should have just went with it.
Yeah, because that's how it works in relationships.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, because that's how it works in real life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because, women don't have a choice. Like, we should be honored if you look at us like that.
Yeah.
Well, it could be flattering, but that don't mean I got to do anything about it. Sorry.
Um,
No. Like, come on. I just said
That's
so much.
ridiculous.
I was like, really, Ben? Do you realize you said that in public? Like, do you realize you actually said that? Like, wow.
Well, because that's the in thing now, is to be red pilled or black pilled or whatever the hell it's called now. It's just idiocy is what it is. And we should just kowtow to this select group of these guys who that's what they think. This is how they think relationships work. Oh my God, you honored me with your gaze. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I actually thought like, if you actually liked them back or wanted to be with them back, that actually meant something to a man. Like they would actually think that was a good thing. Like
you would think so. If you two are
not just-
compatible and you feel the same feelings for each other, well then great. That's good. That's a definitely a good foundation instead of just I pick you. I'm gonna bonk you on the head with a club because I'm a gay man.
And now I gotta roll my eyes and go, oh God, you got here first. Now I'm stuck with you. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's the life I want to live. Yeah, sure.
No,
like I can't believe that most men would be happy with that. But let's see.
I know.
Ken would have.
No, well, it depends. Ken in the movie, not. Ken in general in Barbie world, yes, he would. He just wanted Barbie to marry him and go off forever.
Yeah, he wouldn't even notice that she didn't love him or anything. As long as she's with him, that's.
She didn't. As long as he could be next to her, that's all he cared about. Did you see that?
Yeah.
She's telling him, "I'm not that into you," and he doesn't care as long as he gets to stand right next to her. He was like,
she says it to his face, and the next minute he's trying to kiss her. It's like,
and she's just and she's got that big grin on her face, like, oh, what? Like, yeah, what? Like, I was like, there was some really good moves. See, it is funny, right, Doug? There's some really good, funny shit in there.
You know what? I did laugh once. I don't believe that. You laughed more than once. I only laughed once. But there was a bit when Margot Robbie was having this, Barbie was having a breakdown, and she was crying, and she was going, "I'm not pretty. I'm not pretty." And the narrator in the background says, "Note to filmmakers: if you're going to do a scene like this, do not cast Margot Robbie in the role."
Exactly, because she even crying, she's beautiful. I know she was like she made Meltdown look good. Yeah. It was not anything. Just it was also a mark on like perfection, like what we strive for. Like that's absolutely ridiculous. That to think that when we cry, we're gonna look like that.
No. I know.
No. Not me. Prepared to be snotted on. Like if I start crying, for sure.
I always say you don't want to see me crying. It's not pretty. I've always said that. I mean, since I was little, I've said that.
Who cries pretty? Babies don't even cry pretty. They scrunch all up, scream all loud. Their face gets all red. They're ugly. Like crying's ugly.
Jesus, shove a bottle in that thing or something. Change that kid's butt.
Oh, they're gonna come for us now. How dare we, Aimee? Just
Oh, believe me, I loved Matthew right to death, and he was beautiful all the way up through. He still is, but you know what? Sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, kid, why are you screaming that loud for that long? But yeah, it was all good. Oops, did I lose everybody?
No, it seems like Claire's just disappeared.
Oh dear. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, oh dear, I offended somebody, but but no,
you offended Claire. Yeah,
I
don't know what she's done.
So we still have Dick too. Okay, good. So it looks like mine started to crash for a minute. Yeah, so that's what happened. It just dropped. We have thunderstorms in the area, so usually it's me who crashes first. So.
I think Claire got overexcited and pressed the hang up button probably. And just
or just had a hiccup too, because mine will do that. I notice every once in a while when we switch back and forth, mine is starting to flash. It's like, oh, here it comes. So, yeah. Oh, good. So it is still visible. Good. That's good. So everything's all good. But yeah, no, it was an interesting movie, and it's interesting to see the reactions to them all. Some of them surprised me, like it was that big of a deal for them to be that upset over, and there were some that were just some they just simply read too much into it, I think, too. So but very interesting. Very interesting.
Apparently, I pissed off the wrong Barbie. What the hell was that? Like, wow. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, God.
But too funny. Yeah, we were just talking. When you dropped, I thought, I really pulled a good one when I was talking about how cute Matt was.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, oh, gosh. Like, I don't know. We were talking about, like, being being parents and everything, and parents are allowed to get pissed off, like and tired. That was another thing Ben Shapiro said, that how dare they talk about Barbies, like that, like you wouldn't want to play with baby dolls, you have to play with a grown-up Barbie to make a statement because you're slamming women who want to raise children, and that's not true at all.
That's not true at all.
Right. It's just like we're talking about how, it is a tiring job. It's just like a responsibility, and it can be very wearing too. And there's a lot of responsibility there. A lot of responsibility.
Very much so. So of course you're going to get exhausted. You're going to be tired.
Exactly. Well, you tried to turn it into something else entirely. I did like that whole Space Odyssey thing with the towering Barbie there. Like I was like, yo, Barbie going to change the world? Because she did. Once she came, that's it. Yeah. I'm safe. Thanks, crowd. I don't know. I think Tech Barbie had issues to whatever we were talking about. I don't know.
Claire, can you check you're using the correct mic? It sounds like you're picking up an external mic from somewhere.
No, I actually am on the same one. I just went in and made sure that I had mono checked and all. This is the same one. Well,
that's better.
Is it
fair.
better?
It's starting to get better.
It might just be them registering it because it's been the same the whole time. I actually didn't change thing. So, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all good.
Thank you for fixing it.
Yeah, just a noise cancel thing. There is an odd hum there, though, as if you got maybe a bad ground or something. It would be something to diagnose later, but we got it out.
Okay, it might be. I've got wires all over the place right now because it could be. Who knows?
Yeah, you could have a power wire laying over a USB wire, inserting some background something. You never know. But anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that doesn't normally happen. Okay. Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Trust Dick to come into a mansplain to you. Oh my God!
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of agree with Rocket Couch though. The smashing of the Barbies and all in the beginning, Amy, that was a little rough. Like that was like a little bit like smashing all the baby dolls to make room for Barbie. But it is kind of what happened in the market. Like if you look, I think that statement had a little to do with more the market trend at the time. When Barbie took over sales like unbelievable, and like baby dolls used to be the biggest thing.
That was the only thing
out there.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of complaints, from people in those businesses and stuff like that about the marketing of Barbie and then them being unrealistic and all of this. Yeah, because it was a changing of the times, but it did actually come out like a big smash, but it was kind of violent to watch in the way that they put it out there that way.
Exactly.
So I do agree. Yeah.
Well, the marketplace is a very tough place to be in, and seeing that happen was really,
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's true though. It's kind of like a stark reminder of how cutthroat it can be, and
But it is a little unnerving to see like a 6-year-old girl pick up her baby doll and smash its little ceramic head on the ground.
Yeah,
Like, you don't often see that. That's not something that happens all the time. It's like, so to see a whole bunch of them doing it was like, that's a message, but I don't know if I like it.
But it does when it starts talking to you in your head.
Okay,
like
Doug, that's a whole nother show. I guess that's a whole nother show. We'll have to.
I tell you, one of the things I found really disconcerting about the movie, there was a character in it, the guy that worked at Mattel, who was like the one who found out Barbie had gone into the real world. What was it, Aaron Dickies or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last thing I saw him in, he was a commander who created the SAS in World War II. So he's like this cutthroat, badass, soldier, and now he was playing this like really wimpy role. It was like really odd to see that. It's like, what? Yeah.
That happens to me a lot. I can relate to that, Dunk. When you get used to an actor in a particular role or doing something, and then it's hard to accept them doing something else. You know what I mean? It's like, although they have the skill to do it and they do it really well, it's just like forever the Punisher is like JB to me. Like, and it's hard as long as he plays a role like that, tough, but like individually, like with integrity and some softness, like, but a real badass. Like, I can't see him I can't see him in anything else.
It kind of explains why, certain people get kind of like typecast into similar roles.
True.
You know, like
Yeah.
Liam Neeson. Any film that Liam Neeson is now in these days, it doesn't matter what he's called, but he's like a tough old guy who's going to take revenge on whatever, and he's going to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, like I don't want to see him do a comedy because I'm going to be looking at him like, you're just not funny, dude. Pick up a gun. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
You know, if you ain't got a bat, a knife, or a gun, like, I don't want to watch it. Sorry, Liam. Like, no. But the same thing, like Ryan Reynolds, you know, he's a great actor and everything. But can you imagine doing something really serious? Like, I couldn't pay attention. I'd be like, where's the punchline, goofball? Come on.
Yeah.
Where is it? I'd be waiting for it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. That'd be like waiting for Steven Seagal to be funny.
Oh, he's funny, all right, but not for the reasons.
Yeah.
he
No,
thinks.
not intentionally. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's unintentional.
Talk about a
honestly.
joke on humanity, Steven Seagal. That's
or-
the punchline right there. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I got another one. Kevin Sorbo. There you go.
Oh, God.
They gotta be
he's
separated
taken
at
too
birth.
many-
Those two
yeah.
idiots.
Oh no, they're like brothers from the same mother. They're
Yeah.
like twinsies, samesies. Like, talk about, like, no, never mind. I won't do it. But
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see a movie with Steve Martin in it, where he was funny. Because remember, you used to be typecast for being funny. You stopped being funny. Now remember how to be funny.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
I used to like Steve Martin when he did like the fall down humor and stuff like that, and he
Yeah,
had
the
no
jerk
problem
and
making
stuff.
the
Yeah.
jerk. Like,
Yes,
he
he
had
was
no
good.
problem making fun of himself and everything. I kind of liked that. I kind of like that humor. That's very old and reminiscent of, I don't know. I have relatives that love this stuff, so I've seen a lot of it. But like Benny Hill, like anybody.
Oh my God! Yeah.
God.
Okay, what
It's
a
so bad.
dipshit! It's so bad. Like, what a dipshit! But he just made fun of himself, but he just kept doing it. Like, and it was
Yeah.
funny. It was just funny that he just kept doing it. Like, that was for me, because I saw it so many years later. That was the funny part.
Died in
So,
abject poverty in a little
Exactly.
flat. Yeah.
yeah,
Isn't that sad?
A real sad
Yeah.
story. Yeah, but
yeah,
It is sad.
It is. I don't know, but
like they say, with comedy, there's always tragedy. So there you go.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
They-
what they say too. A lot of the more troubled ones are the ones who are the funniest and most successful comedians. Sometimes
That's why I'm so funny.
well, you know,
No.
they do say that, especially with dark humor. I know I'm guilty of dark humor a lot in the most serious situations. It's how we deal with things. It comes with it. With tragedy comes the comedy of it, the irony, that, you know, the little, you got to be able to recognize the hypocrisy, how you got there. But it's all in, like, looking at yourself and, you know, knowing it. That's what makes it funny, and your ability to deal with it. That was great about this movie. They are definitely taking pot shots at themselves too the whole time. I just can't see why people are so upset. Like, Ben Shapiro's
Exactly.
inability to laugh at this is definitely something he's going to have to work on.
Oh yeah.
He's going to have a rough road for the rest of his life if he doesn't lighten up a little bit. Touch some grass, Ben. Like,
Yeah. He
seriously.
needs
Oh,
to learn.
God.
He needs to learn to laugh like his wife looking at his penis. You know, come on, just giggle.
Is she even allowed to look? I don't even think she's. You know.
Only after he pumps it up.
Oh, God.
yeah.
God.
Oh my God.
God.
That's too funny.
Oh God. I know, Curtis. I love black and white movies. Ain't nothing better than an old Charlie Chaplin or some of those, you know,
Oh,
black and whites.
absolutely.
The
Edmund
actors
Gilbert. Yeah.
saying everything with their face, with their eyes, no words. Like, come on, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
talkies, like that was some real acting going on there.
That was really good. Yes.
There was
Some of the
also
best
such a need
classics.
for entertainment back then. This is really dark times, like war, recession. Yeah.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah, we had the Great Depression going on, and afterwards, and heading up towards that. You know, it's.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I don't remember any of that. Sorry, it was before my time.
just before.
Yeah. Oh, Caitlin says Sin City. I would say that was a great homage to the black and white theme, but it was totally not like a black and white movie like we're speaking of way back then. But I did like that. They did a great job keeping that in black and white. The cinematography was new, different. And I really admired it. It caught me, especially all those graphic splashes of red when necessary.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was like a version of trying to bring a comic book to life, like if it was black and white, but not be a comic book, but have real actors. So
Yeah.
it was a difficult thing to do. I think it missed the mark in some spots, but I have to give them credit for trying. And I think it is one of those things we remember in cinematography to change things a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That and the 300
is always good. Yeah. Yeah.
I know that and the 300. Watching the 300 was like epic for me. My God.
I know. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That's the one. The funny thing I remember about that the most is just him with his mouth open and all of the pictures in the.
Oh, like and
yeah, exactly. He's always shouting. So yeah. But yep.
But the film, but yeah, who would have thought that Barbie could get us talking about so many different things? But it just shows you what an icon. Like you could put Barbie into anything, anything.
Conan the Barbarian. How about
they
that? They
have one of those, Doug. I swear I've seen that. I actually saw Barbie, the Conarian or whatever, from Conan the Barbarian. Well, it was a little fursuit and everything. I saw it, like the little fur boots and everything. Yep.
A Barbie Sonia instead of Red Sonia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, like Red Sonia. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was epic too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you meant like Raquel Welch in was it 1 million years BC?
Oh yeah.
Well,
That's
existence.
talent.
Yeah. Or Barbara Bach in the one with Ringo Starr about the cavemen. What was that? Like that was what all they did was ugh through the whole movie. What was that called, Duck? Dick, you must remember that. That was ridiculous. That was so fun. It was funny though. It was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I seen that in the theater. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing about Barbie. Didn't she actually launch the ability now that we have all of these dolls that symbolize a lot of these strong characters? Like you can get a Wonder Woman doll, Supergirl, all of the dolls for all of the Avengers and all of the action figures, Iron Man, all of them,
Oh, absolutely.
Barbie kind of broke that in. Like,
what do you think about other doll franchises like the Bratz doll? Do you remember that? Remember that? It was just
they're a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Like this they're a little abstract. That's like Barbie going edgy. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it is what kids were interested in at the time. It was kind of getting in on that market where they wanted to be a little different. Everybody knows teenagers want to go off the norm. Like whatever. If it's normal to have a Bratz doll, they're going to go get a baby doll. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, it came at a weird time because it remembers when Madonna came on the scene and she'd be wearing those weird fluffy skirts over top of leggings and and badges and just stuff hanging off her all the time, and that was the kind of the original look for Madonna. You feel like the Bratz dolls should have come in around about that time.
I think something similar did. There were these rock star ones that came out. They were a little smaller than Barbie, and I think they led into the Bratz dolls because you're right. Whenever we talk about a change in cultural society, like Madonna came out and said, "Be yourself, dress the way you want, be what you want, like whatever." And there was in doll world, we'll just call it that, in the marketing, a big swing and change to that, where there was more accessories being offered, a little more edgy things, trying to stay up with it. And you could watch that in regular Barbieville, going with the times every year by year, adding different kinds of clothes, adding different kinds of opportunities, different kinds of accessories, worlds to play in, things like that. But also the different dolls that were created around them, the anti-Barbies, okay, that were out there. Okay, I had an Elvira Barbie. It wasn't a Barbie, but it was like a knockoff, but it was Elvira with the little black
doll,
thing and
yeah.
the pumped up shoe and the vampire and the big L hair and all of that. You know, because it was like different, edgy, cool. Who knew? I probably saw the movie or something like that. But who knows why? I just did. It was anti-Barbie. That's all I knew. That's all I cared about. Well, all the dolls like go through that, and you're right. Like the Bratz thing was a big. It still is actually. There's many ones like it now. If you look, there's like quite a few like that Bratz doll thing. I know what you're talking about.
I haven't hung around toy stores for quite a while.
No, me
not since
either.
the court
Actually,
case.
I don't know about you, but here in the United States, some of our biggest toy chains are gone. We don't have toy stores anymore. Like we don't. We don't. First, they put the mom and pop stores out where you could go and buy a puzzle or look at a train set. They're gone. Then the big ones like Toys R Us, gone.
Yeah.
Nope, absolutely gone.
Well, I remember that back in when I was a kid. We used to live in a town called Peterborough, which is it's a city. You know, it's quite a big. It's a big town. It's just got a cathedral in the middle of it, so it's called a city. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, we had like 4 toy shops and 3 model shops, and you know, so and every weekend, you know, we'd go into the town, and I'd be in those, you know, in all the toy shops, just looking around and staring at the models. In fact, one time they lost me. You know, I got lost, and they found me outside the window of Oliver Carley's model shop, just staring in the window. But you know, it's like, but yeah, and they over the years they all just like disappeared. Like you say, you ended up with Toys R Us, and then that fucks off as well. It's like we got nothing left. Amazon, that's where you're getting them now.
Yep, Amazon or you can go into some of the stores now, but they don't have a very good toy selection.
It's absolutely wonderful to take a kid into a toy shop.
It is actually.
You know,
I love
it's
that
just
part.
brilliant.
I used to love because there's like you don't want to just buy something and just make it like this is what you should be interested in. I love those stores where you go in, they have all the puzzles and the trains, and like they would play with the most different. Like I loved if they went over to the science thing and they were like, let's buy this and get an experiment instead of playing a game. And I'm like, okay, we'll do that. But there was also games they would be interested in and stuff. It's like I never wanted to like make the decision for them. So I was like that aunt, that mom, that grandmom. They like take them there and like give them like choice, just expose them to it. You know, it could get pricey though. Because they're gonna go to like, you know, you got a little budget going on here. You don't want to be saying, well, don't pick this and don't pick that. They go right for it. Like, don't go to the Lego store, because I'll tell you, they're gonna go right to that $500 Death Star, and you're in debt. That's it. Like,
well, we used to do that. We used to take the kids to Legoland in Windsor when they were kids, and of course, you know, they have a massive shop at the exit.
Yeah, they do.
And well, actually, to be honest with you, they have shops all through the bloody park. They have the massive one right at the end, and of course, I couldn't help myself, you know. I was earning money. I didn't care. What do you want?
We have a Lego store here, like at the mall. And one of the best things that they did, I have to give them credit for this marketing, is that, you know, the little people you can make to put in your Lego places, and you always don't have what you want. They do this thing where the kids can, for $10, make 3 of them any way you want and buy them your way. The hat, the accessory, anything you want. And that's like their favorite thing to do. And I have yet to make a mall trip with those boys without having to stop there and make, like, you know, 3 people each, you know, like you're gonna have to do it, because they know it's there now, because it's a big thing. They collect those little figures, and you need the right little figure to do the right thing, like the right hair.
My little one would take, you know, one set of legs and then just put the head on it, and no, don't you want the arms and everything fits to go with it? No, I'm happy with this, just this one.
And you're like throwing the arms and all on the side, like just in case they want to later. Here's like just to get your money's worth, right? Because exactly. Because Lego parts are expensive. But that's another thing they do is in the back of the Lego store, you can buy the individual pieces. So if you ever go to rebuild something and you're missing just one thing and you know the number of it, you can actually go to the Lego store now here in the United States, and they may have it back there that you can buy it individually.
I'll tell you this for nothing. If you do get a Lego set, Lego is amazing. They do this brilliant thing. Got a Lego set for Christmas just a few years ago, because, you know, my kids like that, and it had a piece missing, and all you had to do was I think I emailed them. The piece was missing. about a week later, the bag came. There was this great big like Jiffy bag. You open the Jiffy bag up. There was a little plastic bag inside that. Inside the little plastic bag, there was another little plastic bag, and inside that little plastic bag was the part for free. They just,
cool.
you know, if it's broken or missing,
it happens. It happens.
They just sort it out. It's like Rolls Royce.
I think they've been very good at like having all the parts there to begin with, but then some of these big sets are so involved. Like I don't know, like. You know, the boys are really into it. So like they've got even like the Ghostbusters fire station, that huge big thing took us, but a lot of fun just building it with them. It took forever, but like, you know, you can lose pieces while you're doing it. But then when we have to take it down or put it away, if it's not being displayed, that's when there's a problem. When you go to rebuild it again, you can't find everything, especially if you have cats or small children that knock stuff off tables and things go all over.
Yes.
Or like the one grandson would like to sleep with a piece of whatever he was working on.
Good thing he's not into explosives, but yeah.
No, I mean, like, you know, the Lego set, like he'd have it in his hand and you can't take it away from him. Like, don't try, like, don't do it. And he would go to sleep with it. We got to try to find it the next day. Yeah. It's like, well,
no, son, that's a blasting cap. You can't take that to bed.
Yeah, you can't take that to bed. That would be bad. That would be bad. Yeah.
Yes, those. Oh, I remember those. The cap guns.
Oh, yeah.
Those were fun.
We've got
We used to shoot those all the time, and people would stop. Oh my God, these girls have guns. Yeah, we have cap guns. They were fun.
all the neighborhood
got
kids.
real ones.
All the neighborhood kids here a couple of years ago got into cap guns. So what I did was with Felix was went over to Canadian Tire and got him a starter pistol because it's batter ass. It's that's how you parent, man. You got keep them on the top side of the ladder, right?
Just got him a 22 and a box of blanks.
Oh my God.
If you can't go big, then you don't go at all. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. But it was funny. He went out there with it. Well, he went out there with it the first time and pulled the trigger, and everybody just stopped and looked. Like, is that a real one? It was awesome.
Oh man.
Well, they look real at first. That's funny. But yeah, we had them that looked like the little because we loved. Well, we were strange kids when we were growing up. We loved James Bond, so we had the pistols that looked like his gun.
Walter PPK.
Yes, exactly, and that's what we had as our cap guns. So we were always. Oh yeah,
it's a sexy gun even to this day. It just has a cool look to it,
It does.
Now, while we're still on the subject of toys and, progressing from the Barbie movie, what other Mattel movies are you looking forward to? Because they have got a whole bunch of them slated.
Oh.
Do they?
They are doing the Mattelverse.
Interesting. And what other things are Mattel?
I can't think off the top of my head. Well, I mean, we had Battleships was done recently. That's not
sucked. Oh, that movie's awful.
But I don't think that was Mattel.
Damn,
though, but
did we just hear Dick growl? Like you got Dick growling. Shit. Oh damn, we might have
do it again.
God.
I'll have to Google it, see what's coming up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't mention that movie. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Chris Durham in the music channel in chat there. Will there ever be a Nerf movie? How can you get across softness on the movie in a movie? I mean, hilarious.
Oh God.
Okay.
Look at Charlie's comment there about the light bright. That's ridiculous.
You want the list?
Light bright.
Yeah.
Do you want the list?
Read that, Amy.
Yes, Charlie Welsh says Light Bright, the movie, a think piece on the trials and tribulations of tiny light bulbs.
Oh gosh. Ben Shapiro would be so pissed. He'd be like, why did they pick the green light? What's wrong with the blue light?
Yeah.
What the hell? There was more yellow and pink lights than there were blue lights in there. I think this is a statement.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Perfect.
Oh
Thank you, Dunk.
Oh God.
Here we go.
All right.
10 upcoming films that are based on Mattel toys.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
Well, what a great year we're gonna have, Amy.
Woohoo! Okay, the first one is Polly Pocket.
What?
Oh, now that's a little unnecessary doll I never got. Like, Dunk, I'm surprised you didn't bring this one up when you brought up the Bratz. Like, she's weird.
Yeah, my daughter used to like Polly Pocket. Yeah, because she was small.
It's like a whole little world you open up in a
Mm.
little tiny case and bring it everywhere you go. Mm-hmm.
How do you make a movie out of a little thing you put in your pocket? It's going to be odd.
You have a little thing in your pocket.
Why didn't I think of that?
Fresh from the success of the Barbie movie, there is another doll-inspired movie in the works. This time, it's Mattel's Polly Pocket. MGM are developing the film with Emily in Paris star Lily Collins lined up for the titular role. Not only that, she will be producing the movie, collaborating with Lena Dunham's production company, Good Thing Going.
Oh God, get ready, Ben! Another doll movie produced by women! Oh no! Oh no!
Get verklempt.
Better stock up on Depends there, Ben.
Oh, for any of our fans of like the...
I love Hot Wheels.
Yes, I did too. I had millions of these bad
But there's already like 12 or 13 Hot Wheels movies. They're called Fast and Furious. I mean,
Thank you. That was the name of the movie I was
but they're not as cool as like I actually had. All right, I am a nerd. Everybody knows that. I have a Hot Wheels collection, the old metal ones, like my Jag, my Mustang, my freaking Ferrari, like my Camaro, which is red. I got the red one. Yes, like the metal ones, not like now. Like they are pretty cool now, and definitely the boys have a lot of them, but I don't let them play with mine.
I have my old Ford station wagon with a tailgate that would come down.
I even have a Woody. And no, not that kind of Woody, people. The station wagon with the wood panel on the side of it. That's what it's called. Okay. I even have one of those in green.
Awesome. That's too funny.
Yeah.
So Hot Wheels is coming out. It's and they're bringing us a live action Hot Wheels film. The film is based on the #1 selling line of toy racing cars, is currently set for release in 2025. With Mick G and Juan Carlos Fresnadillo having been previously lined up to direct the movie. The third one is funny. The Magic 8-Ball. Does anybody remember these?
What the fuck are these guys smoking?
What the hell is that movie going to be like? A whole bunch of people sitting around the room trying to decide what they do with their life, so they shake the ball and it takes them wherever? Like what?
Shush, you've just written the script.
No. It's gonna be.
Let's find out.
It's gonna be like The Littlest Hobo, and the ball just rolls around helping people from town to town.
That could be it too. So it does say, changing it up a little, Mattel Films have a horror comedy in the works, inspired by the iconic Magic 8-Ball.
Oh my god!
If you cast your minds back, the nostalgic toy, which resembles an 8-ball used in pool billiards, was used for fortune telling and seeking advice when shaken. With Cocaine Bear's Jimmy Warden penning the script, Mattel Films have stated that the film will not be rated over 18, staying within the parameters of what Mattel is.
Oh my god!
So it'll be PG-13. So it'll be funny. But if that Cocaine Bear guy's involved, I can't wait to see it, because they will at least be making fun of themselves. Like they'll at least not take it seriously. And how could you?
They'll be stuffing it in usual places.
Exactly. Come on, it was great. It was great. It is what. I can't. I'm actually would look forward to watching this one. I'm going to keep my eye out for it.
There we go.
Oh god.
Well, number 4 out of 10 is
No, not Barney. No more Barney. Don't we have enough Barney in the world? This is what. Exactly. Thank you. You feel my angst. There's too much purple. Like, this is pink gone wrong.
Yeah, but wait, Barney is not a Mattel creation, though, is he?
I don't know what it is, but it needs to go. So. It needs to go, Dunk.
Oh, come on.
Barney,
We don't want them to be extinct again. Now we brought them back to life.
they are extinct. They need to know their place. They should stay there. Like, no,
It'll be Barney.
Jurassic Park was good. The original.
I was going to say, it is going to be Jurassic Park, just with a pink dinosaur that sings.
Yeah, well, you know what happens? They try to eat everyone and take over the world. Like, why are we letting it? Like, no, Barney, no. Like, no.
Happy.
No.
Yeah.
With that stupid great. Yes, exactly. Satan in a dinosaur suit. I agree. I agree.
Me.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No, I'll mute you.
I want you exactly. That song makes me want to punch things in the face, like Barney. Like no.
Yeah, but can you imagine Jeff Goldblum splayed out in the back of a Jeep that's going 70 miles an hour, and Barney's coming up behind him, and you see in the mirror things look closer than maybe appear.
Oh gosh.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And it sounds.
Must go
Where's
faster.
Where's the goat?
we need more than a goat. You need to blow Barney up. Like Barney,
I bet the goat. I bet the goat from Jurassic Park. You know.
Oh,
where's the goat?
Yeah.
I know.
I
that
don't
was
have
the best
anything to
part.
blow him up with.
We're gonna have to work on it.
Here, I got something.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you shouldn't be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby!
Now you're gonna make Barney cry.
You're nasty.
That was
Look
mean.
at that happy little face.
Oh God,
Look at him.
Dunk! Look at it. It's demented.
Oh,
it's like
he's happy.
it's the stuff of nightmares. What are you
Oh,
talking about?
That's a mouth that eats children, doesn't entertain them.
It is. It's weird. It's
It
just
does look.
weird.
It does look like Kermit the Frog smacked into him at high speed, though.
The only thing worse
Right
than
up his
Barney.
backside.
The only thing worse than Barney is Teletubbies, and if they're on this list, like I'm dropping like a hotcake. Yeah.
If it's not on the list, I'm writing that one down right now.
No, they're Barnum. What the hell are they? They're like no. That's like whoa. What are Teletubbies? That's wrong. It's just wrong all the way around.
Oh, it gets even worse. Amy,
What?
read the thing.
Oh, well, I was waiting to.
Okay, sorry, Amy. Go ahead.
That's okay. Thank you. So Barney, similar to part of the concept of the Barbie movie, an upcoming Barney film, which is in the works, will lean into millennial angst.
Oh, that's what we need. Yeah, more of that. Yeah, bring it on. Fuck.
Oh my God.
I think they're making the movie just for you, Dick.
Oh, just to kill me. That'll be the last nail in my coffin right
Oh
there.
God,
Get on
finish
with
the
it.
rest of that.
Get
Oh
on with
my
it,
God.
Amy.
Oh God,
Thank you.
it gets better.
It does. This is according to Kevin McKeon, an executive at Mattel Films. The film will be for adults delving into the trials and tribulations of being 30-something growing up with Barney.
Oh my God.
I used to sing the please and thank you song to Matt to drive him insane, but you know what? He uses his manners.
Oh God. Oh God.
All right.
It's the millennial version of Baby Shark. Here we go.
Exactly. The next one should be just as interesting as well. If you
I'm
can
scared,
catch the
Amy. You're
sarcasm in my
scared.
voice.
Oh no, no, no. How do you make a movie out of Uno? Have they been taping our duo games? Hey guys, we better be careful. Like, oh wow, this would be interesting.
That's like Blackjack, the movie.
Well, pretty much. That's pretty much what it's going to be. It says Uno, an action heist comedy is in the works, which will be heavily inspired by the Uno card game. Rapper Lil Yachty is developing the film with Mattel Films, with Marcy Kelly writing the screenplay. Lil Yachty is allegedly also in the front running to take on the lead role in the film, which will be set in the underground hip-hop world of Atlanta.
Wait,
That makes-
Uno,
what?
rap, and hip hop. Wait a minute. Uno, a rapper, and hip hop.
Claire,
Like this is not making sense.
Everybody knows that down in the hood, all the real hardcores be playing Uno. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
Well, it
Yeah.
can be used to cut things. You know how, so yeah.
Yeah, it's just
All
a
right.
cocaine tool.
Yeah,
Hey, bro, got your
Yeah.
got your Uno cards. You got your
I
Uno
know.
cards, yeah. It's
we
rap.
play that duo with friends online, and it's based on Uno. And Charlie's right. If they base that movie on what goes on in our group when we're playing, they don't even have a rating for that. Like they're not even going to.
Yeah, to be unrated.
Yeah, like what? Because we use it to like decompress. We're all slapping each other around and being rude, like just like like take that.
Exactly.
Like
Wow.
yeah, we're just like we use it as a decompression game. It's just like the card game. Yeah. Oh my god, that scares
Okay.
me. This one scares me.
Exactly. The next one.
Oh my
is
God.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Another exciting one for the nostalgics is an upcoming movie based on the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. With the toy dating back to the early 1960s, it's hard not to recognize the iconic blue and red robots in their fighting ring. The film was first announced in 2021 with Mattel Films and Universal developing the work with Vin Diesel's production company, One Race Films. Along with Ryan Engel working on the script, Vin is apparently set to star in the movie, playing the role of a father and son who form an unlikely bond with an advanced war machine. On the exciting project, Vin Diesel said, "To take the classic Rock'em Sock'em game with Mattel as my partner and align it with the kind of world-building, franchise-making success we have had with Universal is truly exciting."
Well,
Okay.
wait, doesn't this exist? Isn't there a movie, Dick? You
Yeah.
might know because you have a boy. Wasn't there a movie about a boy bonding with some big war
Yes.
machine and
Yeah.
his dad had to
Yeah.
intervene and try to understand? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it was the guy that plays the not the werewolf, the Marvel thing, the Wolverine. The guy who plays Wolverine. He was in
Oh, okay. Why is that name escaping me? And I love him.
it. Real Steel.
Now hold on.
Mark Beiser got it. It's Real Steel. No,
Now,
no,
look.
hang on. That's the other one.
When you
can't
look
remember
at
now.
this picture of the game,
Mm-hmm.
do you see in that playing the role of a father and son who form an unlikely bond with an advanced war machine?
No,
Is
I
that-
don't. I see Rocky when I see this.
Yeah.
Like I see Rocky. I don't
Well,
see
that's what
an
you
advanced
see.
war machine. I see two guys slugging it out in a ring, like it says there. Like, and maybe one of
Wow.
them's a cyborg, like that Russian guy who came into the Rocky movie.
Yeah, we'll get like Sylvester Stallone to into the ring with a robot. That would be
Yeah,
great.
like talk about the being part cyborg and still being in boxing and stuff like that, but not like this. Not like a war machine. Bonding with a war machine as a child. Yeah, that happens.
Exactly.
But they
Fucked
do
up.
have that Transformers stuff. It's kind of the same. The kid is like relating to the Transformers who are like fighting the battle, like their vehicles and cars and stuff, and they turn into these big mega machines that can fight. You
Yeah.
guys do know what Transformers are.
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It got quiet. I was like,
Yeah,
uh-oh.
no, it's
Uh-oh.
just
Uh-oh.
When
Nerd out.
when I see these guys, so all I can think of is the scene from Toy Story, and I'm like, yep, that's about all you could use them for. I mean, this is not a movie in the making. I don't understand.
No, it has already been done.
There have been movies made with less plot than this.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
But that's what's going on here, Dunk, is that they don't even have a true thing of a movie built yet. They're just like, okay, use this popular title. Why? People will show up. Okay, what's the movie about? Figure it out later. Like, this is
Exactly.
just bullshit.
Yeah, that one's not good. I don't like.
Hey, welcome to Hollywood, Dick.
Yeah.
Exactly. Something that'll hopefully not come to fruition.
It just shows that they're not connected with some of the stuff that's already out there. Like, I think if you're going to be producing new, you need to know your history. I really do give credit for those that actually know what's already been done and do it a little bit different. And it's going to be silly.
Mm.
This is going to be silly if they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
What's next?
All right. So what's next is Matchbox.
Oh, Hot Wheels.
Exactly. Pretty much.
And then Hot
They're
Wheels
competition.
versus. Well, but then it'll be Hot Wheels versus Matchbox, and
As it should be. But, like, Matchbox had more, like, the bigger, like, SUVs and, like, your ambulance, right, Amy? And they made more
I had
of
some
the
those.
ones that
My
we could
school bus.
relate to some of the movies and stuff like that, like all the ones that had the famous cars in them, like those hillbillies had that fast car, and like Knight Rider and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Right?
I'm
There
annoyed.
we
I'm
go.
annoyed that they even own Matchbox. They shouldn't be allowed it.
that's right.
You know,
It's just
that was Meccano, basically. Hornby.
There we go.
Sucks. Yeah.
It does.
False competition. It's not like they're competing with each other. Now they're like,
They're the same thing, right?
yeah.
They're actual same exact. They get everything from the same place, and
Yeah.
It would be funny if you had the same write-up underneath as the Hot Wheels one.
Oh, would it be funny? They hired the same director and yeah,
Got
right.
Vin
Yeah.
Diesel in it, and
Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah. He's like, wait a minute, we've got to organize our schedules. I mean, both your movies. I mean, they're so good.
We're gonna make a movie about cars, and then on the day we'll decide whether we're gonna call it Matchbox or Hot Wheels. We'll just, whatever.
Yeah, which one sold better last month?
Can't they just call it Hot Match or something like that? Like, let's just,
Hot box.
Hot Box. Yeah,
Hot Box.
I've seen that film.
That's a different film, though. That's totally like it's. Yeah, I wonder what they'd rate that one.
It's got Margot Robbie in it, I think.
I don't think it's PG-13. I think no.
Nope. All right, you ready? Okay, so this is what it says about Matchbox. Although it's not yet clear how this upcoming project will differ from the Hot Wheels movie, there is in fact a Matchbox-inspired film in the works too. Alongside Skydance Media, Mattel Films are developing a live-action Matchbox film, announcing the project back in 2022. Executive producer of Mattel Films, Robbie Brenner, said of the upcoming film, "For nearly 70 years, Matchbox has carried enormous cultural relevance and inspired generations of kids to unleash their imaginations, combining what they see in the world every day with what they dream their own world to be, continuing. We look forward to working with our incredible partners at Skydance Media to craft a story for the big screen that evokes the same imaginative spirit of this beloved Mattel franchise and delights fans of all ages."
So, but
It should be boring as fuck.
yeah, like it said, Robbie Brenner said of the upcoming film, and then went on, blah blah, brand. Look at us, we're great, brand.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's talking about cultural relevance, unleash their imaginations, blah blah blah. They're going to remake the Barbie movies. They're going to have a toy car having an existential crisis.
Well, they have to because they had that whole song in the other movie. Now they get to reuse it over here in this one, the Barbie movie. So that'll be cool.
It's Mel Gibson directing. Richard.
Oh my God.
Gross. Gross. All right. Well, the next one is even better. I don't know if this is going to be nightmare fuel or not, but yes, the next one is Thomas.
Well, I've been waiting for this one. This one has obsessed my life for so long. I've been waiting.
They made one. They've already made one, and it tanked.
They've had tons of them.
It tanked.
And the tank. Thomas the Tank Engine. Okay,
come on! Who was in that one? It was it was the guy from.
Was it adult oriented or was it like a kids movie?
No, it was a kids movie, but it had the guy from Easy Rider in it. Oh, what's his bloody name?
What, Nicolas Cage? No,
Easy Rider.
Oh, Easy. Oh, you will. This
Yeah,
is
that's
for me. I mean,
Fonda.
sorry. Henry Fonda. Peter Fonda.
Peter Fonda. Yeah,
Okay.
and it was
That's
terrible.
right.
It was
Horrible.
terrible.
Oh gosh.
There have been some horrible ones, and
Wait a
the
minute.
live action show
You're
too
telling
is
me that-
terrible.
Peter Fonda did a Thomas the Tank Engine film? It's
Yeah.
like, where the
That's
hell have I
wild.
been?
It,
Wow.
It
Oh,
was wild.
the indignity.
I
Someone
think
sent
he
me
took
that movie.
he
Yeah.
took more drugs to make that film than he did in Easy Rider. I think.
Probably. I can see that happening. But, like, so, wow.
Yes, exactly. So shall I read on?
You better.
We have Thomas and Friends with a healthy mix of CGI magic. Children's train franchise Thomas and Friends will be getting a live action film. Mattel Films are teaming up with production company Two Ducks to create the feature film, which was first announced back in 2020. Mark Forster will co-produce with Mattel Films chief Robbie Brenner, saying, "Thomas is a beloved global franchise." Here we go again. He says the same crap all the time. He's AI. That focuses on the importance of friendship, a theme that resonates deeply with children and parents around the world, adding that Mark is an incredible storyteller, and I look forward to partnering with him to tell Thomas's story in a modern, unexpected way. The film will blend live action and animation for a 4-quadrant family adventure.
How are they going to do that? Like, that's the whole premise of Thomas right there in that sentence. It's about friendship in moving forward. Yeah.
Let me translate what Robbie Brenner really said. Brand, we love your money. Brand, we're going to destroy another beloved character. Brand, so we can have more money.
Pretty much it. The next one is pure nightmare fuel. If you look at this doll that's coming up, it's going to look like Chucky.
That's not Chucky. Is that an American doll?
Yes,
Is that
it's
an
an
American
American
girl?
girl. Yeah,
Okay.
but it
Oh,
looks
God.
like Chucky to me.
It does
So-
look like Chucky. They are kind of creepy. I agree.
love
It's very
you.
Yeah.
I do have to
And then
admit, at least
then
Chucky
yeah,
doesn't
the
deny
stabbing
who they
scenes.
are. Like
I
Chucky
Don't
owns
want
it.
to kill you.
Oh my God. American Girl Gone Wild. This what this is going to be. I can't wait. Okay.
Oh, lame.
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to read this now because we got to get through these before 9:00. So
Oh yeah, we only got
American,
a few minutes. Yeah.
yes, American Girl. Another film in the American Girl series is in the works, with more than 10 films based on the characters of American Girl having already been made. In 2015, driver's license singer Olivia Rodrigo starred in American Girl, Grace Stirs Up Success, with the latest release to hit the cinemas being 2008's Kit Kittredge, An American Girl. Mattel Films now have another in the works, partnering with MGM to produce.
I've never heard of it.
Huh.
Wow.
Neither
All
have
right. I don't. Yeah. Well.
I don't remember them. They
Well,
weren't
this-
very popular then.
Yeah, well, they are now. They're very big. Like they have their own like big section in Bloomfields, and in their own store is like a big thing. You can order a customized doll. It's like a big
Mhm.
thing for girls. It's kind of expensive, but it's gonna,
It was expensive. I remember
it's
that.
very
Sarah had them
much.
making-
But the thing with I don't like about them is American Girl dolls are very identity oriented dolls. You got to
Mhm.
predetermine what you find acceptable or want in the doll. You know, like career, what they look like the whole thing. Yeah.
She looks like she's waiting for somebody to put her straitjacket on.
Well, but they have many of them, and you're supposed to like adopt them and be their friend, and they make it like a whole process. You know, I'm sure they mean it to be wholesome and healthy. It's just it's a little limiting to me. I wasn't not really a fan. It's not a place I take my nieces. No. We go to Build-A-Bear and let them put roller skates and things on funny animals instead.
Exactly. There you go. This next one is say this 3 times fast. Apparently, I don't remember.
Oh no! Who
But
is
this
he?
is Major Matt Mason. All those M's.
What?
Okay, Chad,
I
did
don't
anybody
remember
have an astronaut doll?
Look
I
at him
would've-
though. He
I
looks
would've loved it.
homemade. He looks
I would've loved-
homemade.
I like his little rubber arms. You can stretch them out. Like I always
Like
wondered if
stretch
that
arms, huh?
happened in space. Like you know how the spacesuits are like that with the little coils. No, anyway.
So
Well,
they're gonna base a movie based on like Buzz Lightyear, which was based on a toy kind of idea. So they're gonna base a movie based on a toy movie based on a toy.
But did this
yeah.
toy exist? Did anybody have it? Because
never
I
seen
would
this.
I would have loved to have had an astronaut doll. Like, yeah, I'm a nerd. I would have loved this. Really?
Okay, so this
Something
is
wrong
what
with his knees.
Yeah. Well, the same
Yeah,
thing is wrong with his elbows.
Okay, so first announced back in 2019, the lovable astronaut toy Major Matt Mason will be getting an on-screen film adaptation. Following the success of the Barbie movie, the film has now been
Good
propelled
Lord.
and reportedly is set to star none other than Tom Hanks. Although a production
No.
timeline, has not been established just yet, the feature film will revolve around an astronaut who lives and works on the moon.
Hooray.
And that's-
Oh
last of them.
gosh. Oh gosh.
Thank
Brace
God that's
yourself, Ben Shapiro. Like get Matt, get everybody from the wire, get everybody together, have a meeting. Like this is coming. You better be ready. Oh shoot, what's he gonna do? Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
I could just see it now, right? Like, we'll end it on the right note. Ben Shapiro's review. They did not depict the moon the way we know it is. They ab-
The Earth is flat. That's what I
Yeah,
expected
yeah,
to say
Now-
next.
like,
Now
that-
let me just say one thing. Let me just say one thing before I shut up and you can all wind up. But you know, when I was talking about battleships earlier, I remember now that was MB Games who
Oh,
did that, and
Okay.
they were doing this as well. They were going, oh right, we're going to make this film, and then we're going to do a
Yeah.
whole slew. There was going to be the Monopoly movie and Cluedo and all these. Although Cluedo's already been done,
Did
but
they?
yeah, they were going to make a whole load of films in their MB-verse, and it never happened because
Can you just
Battleships
picture that
stunk.
Monopoly movie though, like with all of the pieces, like you know, and the guy with the spectacle, like yeah, I could see that movie.
God knows what it'd be like. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
buying up
it
real
never
estate.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you notice on all these descriptions, it's because of the success of the Barbie movie.
Well, also they also said the success of the Universal style of franchising. They tried to do a thing with King Kong and other monsters into some big, huge franchise, and most people don't even realize the movies are connected, and it's ridiculous. They don't,
and they stopped doing it because the last one bombed so hard.
Exactly. Yeah. They do this every time. Oh my God, that one worked really well. Okay, we're gonna do a whole 20-year plan and bombard you with everything. Okay, we have this one and this one and this one. Anybody start writing yet? No, don't worry about it. Get the cameras rolling. It's just ridiculous.
Oh wait, why were we broke?
Yeah.
So relax, Mattel. Relax.
Exactly. Oh, Major Matt Mason had lots of accessories and was completely flexible. I didn't know that. Well, interesting. Thank you, the crowd. I never remembered him,
Neither
so
did I.
I don't know. But yes, but I know that everybody has to run in about 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do is just say on behalf of everybody, I'm going to say thank you to everyone on the panel for coming. Thank you so much. This was so much fun. I want to thank everyone in the chat for coming as well. Thank you too. Thank you to all the mods in the chat for doing all the hard work that you do, especially CF Beauty. Thank you so much. You do a lot of hard work in here. So thank you. And it's amazing how efficiently everything runs. So thank you, everybody, and have a great evening. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Make movies good again.
Yeah. Thanks, Amy. This was fun. It was fun.
Thank you.
This was actually fun.
It really was. It was brilliant. So thank you, everybody.
Take care out there, everybody. See you soon.
Good night.
Bye.
It's over. Go home. Go.